ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रं मथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यात् मा मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु ते तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु. May Lord, O Lord, please bless us. May we keep ourselves physically strong, and may we not reject the Brahman, and may not the Brahman reject us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Yeah. Dear devotees, if you remember the last class, we had an interesting point. After discussing or after instructing about the Brahman, it started with the question, Kavu Deva Yunakti, which is the source by which the mind is able to do its function, the prana is able to do its function, or the sense organs are able to do their function. Which is that principle by which all of these are doing the work? That was the question by the student. And the answer was given. And here, avidya tad vidhi, this is the very central ones. We should keep this in the mind. And in 8 slokas, in 8 verses or 8 slokas, 8 mantras, the guru or the teacher gave the answer. Now, before going to the further teaching, he wanted to make a test. He wanted to examine how the disciple is able to understand how deeply or how rightly or how properly. As a result, he is going to ask, my dear, till now I have instructed you or I have answered your question. So directly or indirectly, what is the self or who am I? Now, can you tell me, do you know the self or do not know the self? Do you know the self or you do not know the self? Can you tell me? So this will be the sort of a question from the teacher. But in this question, there is a, what do you say? There is a play actually. If we say yes or if we say no, both the time, then the teacher will understand that the student has not understood the question or the student has not understood the teaching properly. So earlier, at least in India, way back when I was taking classes, I gave some tests actually. I mean, not many students, very few students were there. I gave 1 or 2 tests. Then, then I mean, further 1 or 2 classes I saw, then there was a down in the number of students. And I started wondering why there is a down in the students' number. Because there is nothing, no function, because we have got Navaratri holiday season now. So there was no any festivals, there is no any particular reasons to be less in number. Then after a class, I asked a student, what is the why? What is the reason there is a sudden decrease in the number? Then the student said promptly, sincerely, Swamiji, since you have given a homework, so people are little fearing. Either they are not able to do the homework or they are fearful that their homework is not up to the mark. As a result, they are not coming or they are trying to avoid. Then I thought, oh, if the homework is the case or a cause not to attend the class, then I should get away from the homework. Because my intention of giving homework was to deepening their understanding. But if that is the case, the homework, because I'm giving a homework that is, discouraging them to attend the Vedanta class, then better not, thinking that, then I never made an attempt that I should give some homework to the students while doing the classes. Anyhow, but here the teacher is very confident about his student. Even by giving homework, or rather by giving a test, the student is not running away because he's a serious student. He was aware of it. As a result, now the question is going to be asked by the teacher. Brilliant question. And if you see further slokas in the second chapter, even the student is also no more less person because he was a sincere student, very attentive, with concentration. He had heard the what do you say classes or the teachings of the guru. So he also very skillfully he gives the answer. It was a challenging question and very intelligently, very skillfully he gives the answer. This makes me a joke. I mean, in one of the senior monk in Bangalore, he gave a beautiful talk. He was known for his oratory skills. Many people used to enjoy, and his book has written. I mean, his book has seen multiple prints, multiple editions in multiple languages, and thousands of 100,000 copies has been sold. And he was known for his oratory skill. So he had gone to one of the function to give a talk. Then after the talk, some of the devotees, because there were devotees and some were non, so some devotees came and they made a pranam and said, Swamiji, they were expressing their satisfaction or whatever. Then the Swamiji asked, oh my dear, how did you like the talk? How did you feel about the talk? Then they were very devotedly, with all sincerity, they said, Swamiji, as usual, your talk was so nice, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. After this was, if this much it was said, it would have been nice. After that, one of the lady who said your talk was extraordinary, she made a comment. But Swamiji, there was some problem like acoustics, probably the problem in acoustics of the building or in the sound system. As a result, we were not able to hear properly. Then the Swamiji kept his head, my dear. So she said, your talk was extraordinary, blah, blah, all these things. And now she's saying that there was a problem either because of the acoustics of the building or the sound system. I couldn't hear properly. Now, all her statements, all her remarks, all her certificate has in vain now. So many times that's what it happens. How was the class? Class is very well, they say. And when we ask a question, they say, oh, it was so wonderful, Swamiji. We can't explain. That's okay, Baba. Kindly explain. What did you understand? Oh, Swamiji, we can't explain that. It was so wonderful. So, like this, we all, face students and all. But interestingly, in the Keno Upanishad, the student was not like that. He was sincere and he was attentive, and he used to probably, he had prepared himself well. As a result, he gave a beautiful answer. Now let us see the question and answer, how skillfully the teacher puts the question and how skillfully the the student answers. Yadi manyase suvedeti daharamevapi nunam tvam vetta brahmano rupam yadasyatvam yadasya deveshvatanu mimamsyameva te manne viditam. So this second chapter we are entering now, it is a small chapter because it has got just 5 slokas, 5 mantras actually, but it is very profound chapter actually. And if you see now, after the first sloka, in the last 4 mantras, it will be sort of repetition we feel. Then why this, either student or the teacher, they are time and again, they're repeating the same idea time and again. Why it is so? The question might come. So it is always, I say, Vedantic hammer. We had to be hammered time and again, Vedantic hammer. So the Upanishad is hammering our mind. Oh my dear, please understand the truth. Understand the truth properly. Understand the truth properly. This is the truth and this is not the truth. So to make us understand, first time telling, second time to get clarity, the third is to get convinced. So the time and again, the same truth, the same point or the same understanding has been told in the different languages. So it is a repetition. It is not the punarukti dosha. In the scriptures, there is called punarukti dosha. If you have said already, again if you repeat it, then it is called fallacy. It is an error. But here it is not considered as error. Why? Because to make us understand clear and to get convinced, so the Rishi is repeating the idea. Okay. Now, if you remember my earlier classes, we said you cannot say that I know Brahman. Why? The moment you say I know Brahman, Brahman will become the object of knowledge. Now, I studied mathematics, say for example, arithmetic or theory of indices. Theory of indices, for a good amount of time I studied, and if someone asks, do you know theory of indices? I say yes. Though there is no object there, but it is a concept, no doubt, but there's the object of knowledge. Then what about the like biology or the maybe zoology? If you ask, I say yes. Oh, I know phylums. How many types of phylums are there in zoology? How many families, subfamilies, and what are the features of each phylum and all? So the phylum or the animals, species have become the object of knowledge. They are all objects. Okay, we all understand. Now I go to a chocolate factory and I will have the person knows me, so they take to the every what do you say manufacturing unit and they explain how the chocolate is manufactured, what it is prepared from, what are the raw materials, and what is the process and all. So more or less, I spent a good amount of time in the chocolate factory. When I come out, if someone asks, do you know how to prepare chocolate? Or how do they prepare chocolate? I say yes. Because chocolate was the object of knowledge for some given time, and now I know. So like this, in our day-to-day life, when we say we know something, that means either we have seen them, or we have heard about them, or we have read about them, and we know. We say that we know. Now the question, okay. Then you say, then for example, maybe 20 or 25 years before, someone asked Swamiji or Maharaj, did you taste the pizza? I said, oh no, I have not tasted the pizza. What is that? Oh, pizza is will be like this. They explained. Then I said, okay, all right. But then after some time, I got the same volunteer got the pizza for me. Then I tasted. Then I know the pizza. So earlier, I didn't know about the pizza. Pizza was unknown. The pizza was supposed to be the object of the knowledge. Pizza was unknown. After hearing and tasting or experiencing it, it came to the known. From unknown, it became known. That's all it happens in our day-to-day life. Then the question comes, either it you can say no or unknown. The object of knowledge or an object, either it can be you can say no or you can say unknown. Then someone might ask, Swamiji, okay, for an example, I went to theoretical physics class. I heard the theoretical physics. I thought I understood something, but I don't know completely. So I cannot say I know it, and I cannot say I don't know it. So what this is not, is it not this third category? The Upanishad says no. That means it is as good as saying you do not know. There is no 50-50. I know something, I don't know something. No. Either you know or you don't know. That's all. I know little, but I don't know completely. Of knowledge. Of knowledge is no knowledge according to the Vedanta. So there is no third category according to the Upanishads, according to the Vedanta. So there are only two categories. Okay. So this is how we get the knowledge. From unknown, we get to the known actually. This is what, and all our orientation program happens in our colleges. When you go to work and all, then they try to explain how things work and all. So orientation. Now, in the Kenoprishad also in the first chapter, the teacher took us orientation class actually. My dear, the Brahman is not the object of knowledge. So since Brahman cannot be the object of knowledge, you cannot say Brahman is known. I know Brahman, I know Brahman, you cannot say. Oh, I have studied Upanishads. I have attended Vedanta classes from Swami Shantivratananda. So I know Brahman. What is Brahman? I know. If you say, I miserably fail. So you cannot say that now. Then, okay, you are attending Shantivratananda's class every Thursday or Friday. So that means you know that about the Brahman or Vedanta. If you say, I do not know, then the people will say, oh, that means you were sleeping or you are just having a daydream during class. I cannot say I do not know also. Because there is an object in front of me. I do not know what it is. Just, I'm supposed to know it. So neither I can say no, nor I cannot say unknown. I mean, I do not know. So then what it is, both you cannot say, then you say that better the thing doesn't exist. No, no, that is not so. That's why it becomes shunya. No, it exists. It is our experience. Then, so Vedanta is giving a orientation that Brahman is neither known nor unknown. Why? It is not an object. It is since it is not an object, it cannot be object of knowledge. Then what is the other option? What is the left out option? This is the difference between the Vedanta and other few isms. Here, the Vedanta is trying to tell us all beating the bush like this. So what? So called, it is making us to understand that Brahman is the knower. Brahman is not the known or to be known or unknown. To be known or unknown, no. Brahman is the knower. And I am that knower. Claim that I am that knower. So Brahman is the subject. Brahman is the knower. So Brahman is the subject or the knower. And I am that Brahman. Claim that I am that Brahman. So this is what the Vedantic orientation. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, whatever the Vedantic exercise has been given to do, by doing this, what? No special anubhuti will be there, just like in the Yoga Shastra or Bhakti Shastras. In the Yoga Shastras, you go to Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you will get anubhuti, experience. And in the Bhakti Shastras also, you will experience the God's presence. But really, strictly speaking, Vedantin will not accept this anubhuti, anubhava. They will not say that. Only they say that your ignorance is removed, your wrong understanding is removed, that's all. Because I am experiencing Brahman now, if you say that means I was not experiencing the Brahman, means I was not the Brahman. If you were not at some point of time, now you cannot be that actually. So that is the reason I am experiencing Brahman, or when can I experience Brahman cannot come to the question. I mean, there will be no question. Then why should I do Shravana Manidhyasana? It is only to claim that I am that Brahman. I am that consciousness. I am that existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. Okay. Now, giving this background, let me go to the shloka now. Okay. यदि मन्यसे यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति धर्मेवापि यदि मन्यसे if you think perhaps suvedeti I know Brahman. Suveda means samyak veda, means I know completely, I know well actually. Yadi manyase suvedeti. So this is actually not the question, this is a statutory warning given by the teacher in the first two lines actually. I am going to ask you the question, my dear. Before that, I am giving a statutory warning for you. Yadi manyase, if you think, suvedeti, I know the Brahman very well. So suvedeti means what? I know the object very well. I know the Brahman very well. Daharam eva api nunam tvam vetta. Then you know very, very little about Brahman. Daharam means very, very little. Dharam eva api nunam tam vetha. If you say that I know very well the Brahman, oh, I'm a good student, I listened your teachings very well, beautifully, I've made a notes and etc. So I know very well now. If you tell me, then know it for certain that you know very, 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 very little. So that means what? You cannot say that you know the Brahman very well. No. Dharameva api nunam tvam veta. Okay. Brahmano rupam. Brahmano rupam means an aspect of Brahman actually. You know very little about the Brahman, or you know very little about the nature of Brahman. If you say that you know Brahman well, completely well, Suvedeti, I know Brahman completely, I know Brahman very well, if you say you know very little about the Brahman. Okay. यदि यद अस्यत्वम यद अस्य देवेषु So, and one is if you know the Brahman very well, if you say you know very little about the nature of the Brahman, one point, yadi asyatvam, that which is available in the human being. I'm experiencing that. I have got some experience about the Brahman, or you know about which is reflected in the Brahman, or rather, I can tell you that it is about reflected consciousness. So, you know something about the Brahman which is available for the human being. Yadi yad asya tvam, tvam means you, means human being, then yad asya deveshu means which is available in the God or goddesses, or in the Sopadika Chaitanya, or in the Ishvara. Or rather, what he is telling is if you say that you know very well Brahman, that means neither you know Jivatma properly, nor you know Paramatma properly. Neither you know individual self properly. That is what the underlying argument actually here. Neither you know what it is, what the individual self is, nor you know what is the supreme self is properly. That means you do not know the Brahman at all. Or rather, you know the Brahman very, 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 very little. Now, this is what the statutory warning has been given now. Atha deveshu atha nu means what? It's avyaya actually. Avyaya. So it is a furthermore mimamsyam evate. If you say that I know very well, you don't know, you know very, very little, which is available for in the individual self for the God. And furthermore, we should inquire very well. That means the teaching is not enough. Class is not enough. You have to attend some more classes, my dear. You have to listen to the instructions, my teachings properly, carefully. Then we may have to instruct. I may have to instruct you very well, or we may have to analyze what is the nature of the Brahman. Furthermore, that is what the overall meaning of the first loka. So it is basically statutory warning. So can you say did you understand my instructions? That is the inbuilt question here. Inbuilt question here. Now, so if you say that I know Brahman very well, that means you don't know it, or you know very, very little. And if you claim that, then furthermore, we have to study. Furthermore, we have to analyze. Furthermore, we should try to understand. So this has been given by the statutory answer now. Sorry, statutory warning. Now, let us see in the second mantra how beautifully, how skillfully the student gives the answer. I hope you have understood now, I suppose. There at the end of the first chapter, second chapter, first loka, Mimamsa mevate, afterwards, manne viditam is there. That's the very catchy word there. Manne viditam means I think, viditam, I have clearly grasped your teaching. So the student is making a statement. Manne viditam. I think I have grasped your teaching properly, clearly. How do you can say that you have grasped my teaching properly? Then yes, now I am going to answer. So this is a very often quoted mantra. This is second and third, both. Okay. Naham manne suvedeti, nona vedeti veda cha, yonastadveda tadveda, nona vedeti veda cha. Now, this is little like a mathematics. So there are if and buts, one, two, three, if, then but, no, like this. There are a lot of what do you say connections, and it is all playing with the words. It is like a jingling with the words. So you should not get carried over by the words. First point. So it can be a bit confusing, or you can understand wrongly. So you have to be with me, and you have to try to hear every sentence or every word. Okay. So student was equally sharp, and he had made homework very well, so he gave answer very clearly, very beautifully. Okay. So what is the statutory warning from the teacher? Brahman cannot be classified either known or unknown. Why? Brahman cannot be the object of knowledge. So what is the then other alternative available? Brahman is the knower, and I am that knower. Okay. Now, what is the student answer? Now, before going to the sloka, I will split it and I will tell what are the possibilities that student is telling. Then let me go to the sloka. The first is telling, I do not think I know Brahman well. I do not think I know Brahman well. Means it is negative. Means I do not say or I do not think I know Brahman well, because that was the his thing. If you say that you know Brahman well, that means you have not understood, or you understood very, very little. So that's the reason that was cleared by the student at the beginning itself. In the first attempt he made, I do not think I know the Brahman very well or completely. First point. Second point is telling, I think, I think, I think I do not know it. I don't know Brahman very well, first point. Second is telling, I think I do not know it. So Brahman is unknown or known, both has been cleared. Yet I know it. He is very interestingly is telling, I don't think I know the Brahman very well. First point, again, repeating, I'm repeating. I don't think I know Brahman very well. Second, I think I do not know. So Brahman is unknown. That is also ticked. Now, third is saying, yet I know it. The third is, yet I know it. Okay. And because it is a now Gurukula means what, residential school in those days. So it is not the teacher and student alone is there. There are a group of students also. Friends or students are there. So he is also keeping them in the mind. He is telling that among the students, who has understood this my statement, they know it. And he who thinks I do not know also know it. So first three you have understood. Fourth one is telling, is making a statement, claim that one who understands my statement, they know it. The fifth one, he who thinks I do not know also know it. Okay, these are the five things. So now just maybe mentally note down and we'll start discussing now. Now, naham manne suvedeti. So when you split, na aham manye suveda iti. Na aham, I do not, manne, think or consider, suveda iti. That I know it completely, very well. Suveda, knowing very well, completely. I don't consider that I know Brahman completely. Naham manne suvedeti. The first option. Why? Because Brahman is known completely very well. He's been ticked now. It is not possible. He has told. Okay. The second one. Okay. So I don't know Brahman completely, you have said. I don't consider that I know Brahman completely. Then if you say that I do not know Brahman, then do you mean that I do not know Brahman? I have not understood your teaching. Are you going to say that also has been negated here? No na vedeti vedacha. No na vedeti means na veda iti no manne. Means I do not think, I do not know. I do not think, I do not know. Or I will say, I do not know. The straight away answer will be the second option that is being given here is the second point or the second thing is, I will not say, I do not know. I will not say, I do not know. Okay. So Brahman is unknown is also taken care. So if you just jungling this with words little in a Sanskrit, if you put it properly, it will aham suveda iti namanne. I don't consider I know it completely or perfectly. Aham naveda iti namanne. At the same time, I don't think, I don't consider that I don't know. Means I know he is telling actually. Why two opposites he is telling positively? Then the third is telling Vedacha. Nona Vedeti. Nona Vedeti over Vedacha. The third is I understand it. First one is I don't know it completely. Second is it is not that I do not know it. The third is telling very clearly, Vedacha, it is not that I know it. We should not think that here I understand it. Maybe like a concept, you can say that. I understand it. So, means Vedacha, how to understand here? I do understand that Brahman is something beyond known and unknown. Or rather, I understand that Brahman is other than known and unknown. When you say Vedacha, you have to take it very carefully. So I do not know that I know it very well means what? Brahman cannot be object. Brahman cannot be known. That is one. Second is it is not that I do not know. Means it is unknown also has been cleared, negated. Now we are saying Vedacha means what? I understand that Brahman is something other than known and unknown. Okay. That means what? Here, the underlying argument, this is what deciphering the formula like. So it is what he's telling very clearly. I understand Brahman has the knower. Brahman is the subject. Brahman is not the object. Now teacher is very happy. This has to be added now. It is imagine now when the first line, Naham manne suvedeti, nona vedeti, Naham manne suvedeti, nona vedeti, Vedacha. When these three options was given, alternatives were given by the student, the teacher was very happy. So the teacher thought, I got distinction mark because the student has understood things properly. The student has understood my instructions properly. So he's congratulating. Okay, nona vedeti vedacha. Okay, now second line, yona tadveda tadveda. Yaha, when you split, yaha, naha, tadveda tadveda. Yaha means anyone. Anyone means who? Here among the Gurukula, the students who were sitting along with me, hearing your students, among them, anyone among them, yaha, yaha naha. Yaha means anyone among, yaha naha means among us. Anyone among us, yaha naha, tatveda, knows that sentence uttered by me. Tat Veda. Veda means understanding. Tat means that. That means what? That sentence which uttered by me. No naham manne suvedeti, nona vedeti vedacha. Regarding that. That is what that represents here. One who among us, anyone who has understood properly my sentence uttered by me, Tat Veda. Such a student knows that Brahman. Such student again knows that Brahman means such a student understands about the Brahman. Here knows means again understand. We have to take it carefully. So what is actually is been telling here? So I do not know that. I mean, see how beautifully the student gave an answer. I don't consider I know the Brahman very well or completely. I do not think I do not know the Brahman, but I know it as a subject. So Brahman as a subject, yes, I am aware of it. Brahman as an object, I do not know it. So this has been told by the, the student. Now the question might come, Swamiji, the same thing has been telling time and again. Why? Okay, to get clarity and all. Is it so important? Is it so important why the teacher is going on telling this and the Rishi is going on telling this and the student is also telling this? Why it is so important? Now, when we think ourselves, we will understand. When I say, or when the Upanishad says, oh, you are that Brahman, or Brahman alone is real, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, Brahman alone is real, the world is illusory. When we say appearance, oh, okay, world is an appearance, let us think about the world afterwards. Okay, you are saying that Brahman alone is real. What is this Brahman? Where it is? How it is? Immediately the question will come. Oh, Brahman is above the sky. Brahman is inside the water. Brahman is above the sky or whatever. And what will be his shape? How big it is, whether it is small or big, how powerful it is, and what color it has got. All these type of questions we get in our mind. Why? Because we are objectifying the Brahman. Okay, first part, one thing. Very well you can understand. Okay, all these things I was thinking now he said, okay, Swami, what is Brahman? Then Upanishads or Vedanta says that Brahman is what? Satchitananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. When we hear this, many times it won't make any sense for us. And not only that, you knowingly or unknowingly, we visualize about the Brahman as like a maybe ocean, like a vast sky, or like a light of the lamp, or like a fireball or something. So we imagine these things. Why? Because our mind objectifies it. So knowingly or unknowingly, our mind objectifies about Brahman also. That's why he's telling again and again. And furthermore, after hearing Vedanta classes, I've seen with few devotees, they ask, Swamiji, when we die, what happens to the soul? What happens to the self? About nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chainam kledentyapo, na shosheti maruta. I mean, I am the self which cannot be burnt by the fire, it cannot be wet by the water, it cannot be dried by the air, it cannot be killed by the weapons. All after hearing this, devotees will ask, or the student or the Vedantic aspirants will ask, after my death, where the self goes, what happens to the Atma? How it travels to the different lokas? What happens to Brahman? What happens to the self? First point, question. Second, when I die, when I die, how the self travels from one body to another, or from here to Swarga or Naraka. So all these questions we get. Why, because we are objectifying the Atman. Because and also we see in the serials, films, in the movies and all, like, so like when a person dies, it comes from in a small light, like it travels to the above world, or it to the heaven or the hell or whatever. So we objectify it. That is where the teacher and student, they are telling us again and again, don't objectify the self. You are the not the object. You are the subject, or I am the subject, and claim that I am that Brahman. So now probably you will get some an idea why they are telling it again and again. Because knowingly, unknowingly, we keep on asking what will happen to Brahman when I die, where it will travel, what it will be doing when I die, all these things. Okay. Now, the conclusion of the conversation or dialogue is made from the Upanishad. Now, the answer has been given by the student. Now, the Upanishad is adding some extra information or better understanding in the third mantra. Let us try to see. And this is also very often quoted sloka, because in some 22, 23 years before we had learned this, it was one of my favorite sloka. I used to often quote with the people, like playing with the words or jingling with the words. यस्यामतं तस्य मतं मतं यस्य न वेदसः अविज्ञातं विजानातं विज्ञातम् अविजानतम्. Okay. Now, before that, let me just give us a little background. See, this Brahma Jnana, the self-knowledge, where it is a unique knowledge. Knowledge about the pen, pencil, or a metal, knowledge about an atom. It is all one category, if you say, known or unknown. But the self-knowledge is a very unique category, actually. Because a person knows Brahman without knowing the Brahman, actually. Again, oh, Swamiji, again you are adding confusion. Don't think that. A person knows Brahman without knowing the Brahman. Means what? A person experiences the Brahman without knowing the Brahman, which is a very unique one, actually, self-knowledge. And I'm not knowing about XYZ. I am knowing about myself. Or rather, I'm experiencing about myself. Are still clear, are still to be clear, we are only removing the misunderstanding. We are only removing the misconception. Swami Vivekananda in Karma Yoga, he gives a beautiful analysis. When I say I am knowing, I am learning, means what? You are only by your trying, by your attempt, effort, you are removing the ignorance layer by layer. I'm studying so much mathematics. I studied I spent good amount of time on mathematics. That's the reason I know now what is mathematics, or maybe a concept, or maybe a problem. If you say, Swami Vivekananda says, no, my dear, by making an attempt, by spending hours together in the mathematic problem, what happened? Only you removed your ignorance. Why? Because knowledge is inherent in human being, he says. Knowledge is inherent in human being. Okay. Now, Brahman cannot be known, Brahman cannot be unknown. Brahman is beyond known or unknown because it is not the object of knowledge. Brahman is the subject or experiencer. I am that experiencer. Now you know. So, whoever knows Brahman actually as an object does not know Brahman. Whoever knows Brahman as an object does not know Brahman. This will be told here actually. Whoever knows Brahman means I know Brahman. If someone claims, that means he is making the Brahman as an object of study, that means he does not know Brahman. And whoever says that he or she does not know Brahman means they know. Means whoever say that I do not know Brahman as an object of knowledge, that means they have understood something about Brahman, or rather they know Brahman. This is what has been told in the third mantra. Okay. Yasya matam. Yasya amatam. Yasya amatam means. Yasya means for whichever person. For whomsoever, for whichever person. Yasya amatam. Amatam means it is not known. Tasya matam. For that person. Tasya. Yasya tasya. For that person, it is known. Whoever say that I do not know Brahman, for such person, he knows Brahman. He knows Brahman means what? Again, he understands Brahman. He has experienced Brahman. That's the reason he tells that I do not know about Brahman. That's what we see in the Upanishads, that we cannot explain what is Brahman. Why? And Sri Ramakrishna tells very beautifully, everything is deified by the tongue in the world except Brahman. Brahman heta hoini. Why? Because it cannot be explained. So all this Upanishad concept is told simply in a very simple language, layman's language by Sri Ramakrishna. Okay. Yasya amatam. Okay. Tasya matam. Now you understood. Matam yasya na veda saha. Yasya matam saha na veda. To whom it is known, he does not know it. Who does not know? He knows it. Yasya amatam tasya matam has been done. Now, yasya matam saha. Yasya matam. To whom it is known, who claims that it is known, saha na veda. So know it for certain that he does not know it. The same idea, whatever we discussed in the earlier, the same idea has been told by Upanishads again. Whoever says that I know, they do not know. Whoever say that I do not know, they know it. This is what been little extra. Now, after this, Pratipoda Viditam Matam Amrutatvam Vindate, Atmana Vindate Viryam, Vidya Vindate Mrutam is the center of the Kenopanishad and our scriptural training or the Vedantic training, which is very, very important. It is very, 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 very important. I can say that. If we understanding this fourth mantra is very quite interesting. And till now you understood Brahman is not an object of knowledge. So we cannot say that it cannot be known. It cannot be, it is neither known nor unknown because Brahman is not an object. Rather it is a subject and it is often a subject of experience. That's all. And I am that subject. That is what has been, these 3 points has been time and again in different ways. It has been told now. Now, how to understand these things and all has been told in the fourth mantra. Let us try to discuss and understand in the next class. Next week we'll have only on Thursday, not on Friday. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if you got any question, I'll be happy to answer.
Pranam Swamiji. I have a question here. You just mentioned that Vedanta at several places in the Upanishad, it emphasizes again and again and again about the nature of Brahman, that it is something to be experienced. And could it be that if a person gets into this false mindset that Brahman is something that can be known, and then he tries to use all his sense organs to, for example, tries to see, then it will be an endless search for that particular object. And therefore, Vedanta, again and again, the Upanishads make this message, you said Vedantic hammer, that stop searching for it. It's not something that is available. It is something to be experienced. Is that a proper interpretation?
Yes, you are right. That's where they say that they give a beautiful analogy, a simple analogy or an anecdote in the Puranas actually. So once there was an assembly of the gods and goddesses, yes, small g's, not caps G, small g. Okay, so there was a discussion in the assembly of the celestial beings or the gods and goddesses. Where should we hide the power in the human being?
Okay.
You remember in the olden Puranas and all, like the Rakshasas, they used to have their prana in somewhere in the tree or in one bird or in a secret chamber. If you go and beat it, if you go and get it, then you'll be able to conquer a demon or a evil or whatever like that. And even they say that Krishna had his prana in the toe actually.
Okay.
That's what they say, anyhow. So
Okay.
like this. So like that, they started discussing where should we hide the energy of the human being like that. So the question came. Then they said some in the water, in the ocean, in the cave, in the above world, or in a particular thing, or in the particular casket. All these discussions were came. But every suggestion was negated. Oh, if you keep this, this can happen, this might happen, this might not happen, all these things. Finally, among them, one person, one I mean, Devata, he said, oh, why to keep here and there? Let us keep inside itself.
Mm.
Let us keep inside the human being itself. So he does not know because it is inside. Like, for example, we are all searching for a thief, and if the thief is in the police house,
Yeah.
what happens? No one thinks about and go and
Mm.
search in the police house, isn't it? So
Yes.
similarly like that, so you keep hide his energy in his own body, in the heart, so that no one can know it, and it is very difficult to decipher, difficult to understand. Very few people can understand it. Whoever understands it or experiences it, and they will get it.
Mm.
And everyone felt, oh, this is a safe place. No problem at all. Free of cost, no problem of security and anything. And that's how the Devatas decided we will keep the energy of the human being in his own heart itself.
Mm.
This is a story. Now, what here they are telling is, I am that. That is already inside. That inside means what actually? I have to experience it. The truth is what? I am that self. I am that consciousness. I am that awareness. Now, outside also I can experience that consciousness and all whatever, but without understanding and experiencing inside, I cannot experience outside in generally. That's how the yogis and the spiritual aspirants they tell.
Mm.
So here we are trying to break the objectification. Brahman as an object, first point. Second is Brahman as subject, the second less step. And the third step is I am that subject.
Mm.
Brahman is not an object, Brahman is subject. Second step. The third step is claim that or try to understand that. Again, understand is again a limitation of the language. So try to know, try to experience, or try to claim that. The better way, the safe way of putting is try to claim that I am that Brahman.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the process, Vedantic process, especially in the Keno Upanishad. The Vedantic orientation has been done like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.